Good afternoon to all of you that are with us, and I understand Ms. Pettaway, Ms. Ann Addison, Mr. Henderson, and Ms. Brooks.
Marie Bolden
Miss
is on the phone. Miss Bolden's on the phone.
Ms. Bolden, thank you so much. So,
Well, first I'd like to apologize. I didn't realize the meeting. I'm so sorry that I'm this late because it's my fault. Sorry.
okay, well,
Ditto.
well, thank you all for getting on, and I'm sure you'll recall that I did ask for agenda items from you all about 5 or 7 days prior to this meeting date, and I didn't receive anything. So I do have a couple of things, so it shouldn't take any more than about 30 minutes. So the theme of this meeting is the
Excuse me, Ms. Van Roach. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We sent the agenda to your contact. We sent the agenda to you and we sent it to your contact. As a matter of fact, it's the same agenda that we had last time.
I didn't receive an agenda.
Well, we were on a meeting, and I think I was on the phone when Hazel sent it to you. Both have emailed it to you.
No, I did not receive an agenda. But that's okay. What we'll do is we'll go through the items, a couple of items that I have, and then we'll address your items. Is that
Do I
okay?
have something delivered today?
How
I
about
just
we start
resent it,
with
Ms. Van
our
Roach. I just resent it.
How about we start with our items and then we can address your items? Because the last time we addressed your items first. Yes. And I think the reason why we sent back the same agenda is because our agenda was not discussed. That's why we sent back the same agenda. Everyone had to go to a meeting.
Okay, you want to go ahead and start? Hold on for just a moment, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, I sent.
Go ahead.
I sent it on the 8th to your email.
I don't have anything. So if you can go ahead and present it from your side, that would be most appreciative.
No problem. No problem. The first item was the fair minimum return, an explanation of the email sent by Mr. Evans discussing of the percentages and other stipulations. So he was telling us about, well, after his fair minimum return, vending commission, request an update on the SEC, and the operation inside the Switzer building. This was our original agenda, same agenda from last time.
Okay, well, some of those items we already addressed. So I know for a fact, I did comment on the Switzer building, that was already addressed back in December. And I told you what the outcome was on that. So I know, Ms. Brooks, you were not at the last meeting, but your colleagues were. So I'm gonna pass on that one.
Well, Ms. Van Roach?
Ms. Von Roach, I know I was in the hospital when that meeting was going on. So my colleagues have expressed to me that you said it was taken care of, but you gave no explanation. So we need an explanation as to how it was taken care of.
I said it was taken care of, and I also explained how it was, that the program monitor that was assigned to that building was reassigned and no longer has any responsibility to that building. Okay, so what's the next item?
Let's back up. Can we do that for a second here? I know we have time restraints, but at this point, the monitor that is assigned to that building, his sister and his family is running that operation.
I don't know how many times Ms. Von Roach has to say, the monitor who was assigned to that building is no longer assigned. Who's now assigned to the Switzer building?
Mr. Epps, Elijah Warren Epps.
Elijah Juan Epps is assigned to that building. That issue has been resolved. What is your next issue? We started late. We are ending at 12. And I'm sorry for being abrupt. I'll say that now so I don't have to send it in an email later.
Fair minimum return.
Okay, so the request from you all that I recall was that you wanted us to consider whether fair minimum return was an option for those vendors that you felt may qualify. So going back and looking at the policy, and I also have the folks here from operations as well. And I have had conversations with them as well as with the program monitors and Mr. Reese. So based on all of that collaboration, if each person feels that they may be a qualifier for FMR, then you are to submit a letter, a memo, a note, whatever, you can send it to me with all of the documentation that will support your request. It's incumbent upon each vendor to do that. We will not look at it collectively because it's an individual assessment.
Can I ask a question, Ms. Von Roach?
Sure.
What do you guys review? What is the reason you guys review our profit and loss reports? If my profit and loss reports indicate that I need that assistance, why don't you guys look at it and communicate with me about my situation? Because you guys are the FLA, and you're supposed to help us be the best vendors that we could be. And if you're looking at those documents or those reports and you recognize that someone is barely making it, then why wouldn't you try to help us out? Because I've asked and I've got no help, and I have profit and loss reports for years that indicate that I needed some help, and you guys denied me. And now you're telling me that I have to put in some kind of document to declare that I need help. And I'm just wondering, you guys make a lot of mistakes, and just like you received our
P&L.
You guys don't reach out to try to help us. It's almost like you make us beg you for help.
In response to your comment, again, I can attest to what has or has not happened before my tenure, but I can only restate what I've read in the policy, that it's incumbent upon you as a entrepreneur. I mean, anybody would do this, whether it's in the blind program or whether you're a person with your own business outside of this program. you are responsible for your profit and loss. So whenever you are submitting it to the operations, you're looking at it. So because you're looking at it, you are the best person to determine whether or not you are operating at a deficit or not. You don't need somebody else to tell you what your earnings are or what their lack of. So that's why it starts with you as a vendor. So you have to vouch for yourself. You have to present the narrative yourself with your documentation.
And the,
Ms. Vaughn,
I'm sorry, just.
Ms. Vaughn Roach,
You should submit in writing, you will get a response in writing that will include your right to appeal that response. And go from there. You can submit your request today. Submit it in writing. We'll get a response in writing, and that response will include your rights to appeal the decision of the agency. And that's true for you, it's true for any of the vendors. Submit that, submit a written request, you will receive a written response, and that written response will include your right to appeal. And the policies, the fair minimum return is a vendor can qualify. We don't give it to people automatically. They do have to ask for it. If your income is below the average of the lowest 10% of all vendors in the program. So, you know, when everyone's making little money, everyone's making little money. It's not that everyone's that entitled to fair minimum return. Although during COVID, we paid out a number of payments to vendors in order to help them sustain themselves over that period of time. We did as an agency, and then the Department of Education gave us additional funds. But prior to the Department of Education providing those funds, our agency provided substantial funds to vendors to try and help them stay afloat during this, during the pandemic. If you're feeling that you need fair minimum return, submit a request in writing. You will receive a written response that will include your right to appeal.
May I interject something right now, Mr. Reese? Mr. Reese, I'm sorry, I'm having a little brain. When did the policy change about fair minimum return? Because if a vendor shows 3 months of not making any money, them and their monitor gets together, and that's when they present their report in terms of the vendor not meeting their financial responsibilities. That's how the policy is written.
And also, in addition to this, please keep in mind, and I'm just throwing a number out here just as an example. If you have 3 facilities and one is not doing well, but the other 2 are doing well, that is not justification for a request for FMR.
Well, yeah, I think that we all know that. If you have 3 or 4 and 2 is doing better and 1 isn't, you know, I don't think that you would be eligible for fair minimum return. We know that. So what you're asking for is, will you send in your P&L statement to you all, to the agency itself?
We have those.
Is that?
You submit a written request for fair minimum return. And if you need to work with your monitors to prepare that written request, reach out to them and I'm sure they would be glad to help you.
Okay.
And again, this is on an individual basis, not all 19 people in one email or, you know, what have you.
Yeah, we know that. Yes.
All right, great. Next item.
Excuse me, can I just need to say something about what you guys were just saying. You asked us to put things in writing. I've put things in writing and they have been ignored I've sent you, Ms. Von Roach, a few emails. One was about one was about a draft that I drew up about the micro markets, and I sent the copy to all of you guys and the Department of Education. You told me to pick a day to meet with you. I picked a day and sent it to you. It was ignored. I revisited it and sent you another email letting you know that you must have forgotten and asked you for another date. You told me you would check your calendar and email, and you never got back with me. I sent you another email about something else, and it seems all my emails are either forgotten or ignored. But you tell us to put things in writing, and when we do, we get no response from them. So I think you guys really need to check your emails and see had we in fact sent you things in the past that you guys never responded to at all.
Two ways. And one is, we did speak at this last meeting about your draft. So, and if there's been lack of follow-up in other ways, I apologize, but we did speak about it. We didn't just ignore it. But secondly, I want to say, if you submit an email request for fair minimum return and you get no response is the same as someone saying no. So you can then file an administrative review or go to OAH and say, I made a request on September 24th for fair minimum return. Today is October 1st. It's been a week. I've gotten no response to my request. I am taking that lack of a response as a denial, and therefore I'm appealing your denial. And then it will, you do that either as an administrative review, or you could go to OAH and say that in either forum and move forward from there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Just to point out, I said, a reasonable time. So like if you submit it today, don't appeal tomorrow if you didn't hear by tomorrow. But as long as you give, and I think a week is more than a reasonable time to at least have heard, I'm acknowledging this and I'll respond to you by X date.
Okay, and I will send one today. Thank
Great.
you.
Next item.
Can we move to the next item?
Sure.
Vending commission. We're not getting our vending commissions from the purveyors.
Sundone, as I understand, is over with a new company or something, and a lot of us haven't gotten them in several months, the vending commission from them. And we can't do anything much about that. That has to be the SLA's responsibility. For one thing, we tried to work with the soda companies, but they were told not to speak or talk to us at all anymore. But usually the SLA takes care of that situation when that came about from those soda companies not giving us our vending commission. Sundone is the worst. They never pay you. They never haven't paid us in several months.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
They're receiving, this is Ms. Jackson from operations. So yes, Aramark has taken over the payment processing, but you are receiving your commission. They are included in your monthly commission statements. So I'm not sure why you're stating that you haven't received it, but we have verified and they are included in your monthly commission statements.
So if people believe that there are commissions, that there are vending machines that are not being paid, because we don't believe that to be the case apparently, please reach out to Ms. Mitchell and copy her supervisor, Jasmine Jackson, and just identify for them. I don't believe we're receiving vending commissions from these vending machines. And they will be able to confirm whether we've received them and provide you with the amounts that have been received and paid to you.
So you said we talked with Ms. Mitchell about this, receiving the vending commission. Is
Yes,
that,
yes,
okay.
thank you.
Next
We ready
item.
to move on to the next item? The SEC.
The SEC. What's the
We
question?
wanted to know what status, what is the status of FCC? If there are machines in there, or there's soda company, the vendor that had it and closed it down and we lost that place, what's going on over there now? I mean, is the vendor still receiving the vending commission from there, even though there is nothing over there? Or is there something over there? We don't exactly know what is going on over there. I mean, if the vendor that had it has closed it down and doesn't have any type of machines or anything they working over there, then should they be getting the vending commission still from over there?
Well, this is.
We just want to know what's going on over there. We just want to know. I mean, we are very sad about losing that place because that was one of our best places. It's still sad, and we approached the SLA to look into it several times before we even lost the darn place, because committee was working with the manager over there, and she was getting ready to open it up back up to us until Mr. Benasola went over there and told them not to speak with us or talk with us anymore, so they wouldn't talk with us anymore. We almost had it open again.
This is Demisola speaking. I'm the program monitor. The status right now is he is still operating at SEC. At the moment, he's providing coffee services, and that also SEC is his primary. And currently, we're working with the building manager to see other services that we can provide. And no, it wasn't just shut down. It was closed simply because the population was not supporting it. And I know the previous management and the building manager, they agreed that there's not enough population to support the snack bar. So that's why they moved on to coffee services at the moment. And eventually we'll update you should they go another route.
Okay, since we're talking now, Mr. Benasola, can you tell us if the Reagan building is working and operating, or is that still closed down? We went over there and it was still closed. Can you give us an explanation on why we closing up all our snack bars and stuff around? You know, we losing them, closing them up, vendors not opening them. What? Can you give us some insight on what's happening at number 7? Because the vendor who has it got that back in October of last year.
That is for number 7. She opened 2 weeks ago and it's up and running.
When did it open and run? Last week, couple of weeks? Because we were open and it wasn't open.
He said 2 weeks ago.
It must have just opened because it wasn't before 2 weeks ago. Okay. Because that vendor had received that snack bar back in October of last year. And we went, and it was not open. We wondered why. We can't afford to keep having our facilities closed down.
Well, if you need further explanation on why we received in October and it's just now opening is because there were several modifications that needed to be done. And that was one of my tasks, is to make sure it's not just a modification in general, but overall, meaning we had to have it cleaned. We had to have several other things done that took, a very, very long time with different management coming on board at Ronald Reagan. So as of today, it's been opened for 2 weeks ago and it's up and running.
Okay, well, we'll see. But I know that place was being up for remodeling and stuff like that. But then I thought in October of last year, it opened back up because they were completing the remodeling over there, and it just wasn't open. Now, we knew it wasn't open a couple weeks or more ago.
And it's open, like I said, the status right now is operational. plain and simple.
Okay.
Okay, does this cover all of your items that we talked about last week and now we're talking about now? So that should bring these items to a closure.
Yeah, we have no more items left on our agenda unless the committee wants to,
Well, I have a question.
expound upon anything.
This is my one question, and I note that all the snack bars that has been troubled or closed down has been under Mr. Benasola. So I was just pointing that out, that all of them that we have found that was closed or having a problem or whatever.
Your observation is noted.
I have a question also about what is that, the FBI field office or field? What's going on with that location? Is it still open? Is it closed? Is it still in our, is it still a facility of ours or not? And why not, if not?
The FBI, was that what you said?
Yes, FBI field.
That was,
No, FBI market, my bad, FBI market.
that was, micro market. And, last I remember, the vending, company, removed their micro markets from there. That's as far as I remember. Anything else I can come with color.
And they removed their, so what is going on with it now? It's been a couple of years that it seems to have disappeared.
After Mr. Lonzo died, then we didn't know what happened to it after that. We tried to find out where it was. It was never on a call down or anything. And he had it for a regular primary or something other. But he died, and then boom, we didn't know what happened to it after that.
I'm telling you what happened was the vending company removed their micro market.
Whose idea was that? I mean, did they just do it on their own? Were they asked to remove it? How did that occur? And we got no notification, nothing about it. I mean, if something is in our community, when it's taken out, we should get some kind of notification about it. Hello?
We'll see.
Sorry about that. Actually, what had happened was the, FBI building, they were not satisfied with the vending company's, performance. So they were asked to remove their micro market. We don't have any control over that. If our federal partners say, they're not satisfied with the vending company, they have no choice but to follow, the request, so to speak.
May I ask a question?
Could you tell me, excuse me one more second, please. Could you tell me what company that was?
It's in reach.
Say that again.
It's in reach.
It's been breached?
It's in reach.
In reach.
In reach. Okay. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? If we're in the government buildings and a company moves out, is it any way that the Randolph Shepherd, maybe we can put something in there, vending machines or even a little small facility rather than losing the location?
I wouldn't know. I'll have to discuss that.
So what you're asking is if a current vending company is there and then they move out, can Randolph Shepherd,
You mean us,
Possibly,
your
yes. Can we,
have a vending facility in a building and there's some other, so for example, at Department of Employment Services, we have a facility at one end of the building. At the other end of the building, there's another place that also sells about the same kinds of things that our place sells. Are you asking whether if that person were to move out, can we say, can we get that space? Is that what you're asking?
something to the effect, as long as we have our foot in the door, yes.
The problem with that is the federal requirement is that they have to reserve a space for Randolph Shepherd. So keep in mind, for example, in the example I just gave, they're collecting rent from those people at the other end of the building. They're not collecting rent from us. And so the challenge in that circumstance would be that for them, it potentially could be a loss of income. If we see someone's leaving, can we reach out to property management and say, you know, is there something we might be able to do with this? Absolutely. We can reach out, but as a right, I don't think the right exists. But just because the right doesn't exist, doesn't mean that the request can't be made. You can always ask. There is no.
Well, I want to
Okay,
ask a question. If you, say for instance, like Jesse was just saying, a vending company moves out and a vendor wants that spot. Maybe the vendor wants to purchase their own machines and put it there. Are they allowed to do that?
No,
Not without the builder's permission or
not only that, no, they cannot, because equipment is owned by the SLA. And so a vendor couldn't purchase equipment.
okay.
But anytime you have thoughts about expanding business in a building, please do talk to us and we can reach out to either DGS or GSA to explore those ideas.
You will explore that idea. Is that what you said?
Absolutely. We'll explore it, not explore the idea of vendors purchasing vending equipment because equipment is owned by the SLA. But explore any ideas you have about expanding your business in a building you're in, absolutely discuss it with us and we can explore whether it's possible.
Mr. Reese,
Yeah,
I have a question. On that note, for some time, we've been trying to develop a 24-hour presence for Randolph Shepherd in the State Department. So somewhere along the lines, they were talking about a micro market for the Foggy Bottom location. They were talking about a micro market for Columbia Plaza. And so then the information came back that something about their budget. It wasn't in the budget. But, you know, that's something that I've been trying for the time that I've been there because we don't have any 24-hour presence for us in the State Department after 5 o'clock.
as I said, we can ask. The answer may not be yes. It sounds to me like we asked and they said that they're not able to do it at that time.
Can we circle back around and check? It's been a while.
Well, Mrs. L, this is Jelani. We just spoke about this with the State Department. As you stated, the budget did not, it was not afforded for the Foggy Bottom renovation. So because they weren't able to do that, they decided to decline the 24-hour, the micro market. And additionally, with
Yes.
market
Yes.
as well. So
Thank
they
you,
to go away with both micro market operations and locations.
And I'm sorry, I need to step out because I have a noon meeting that I'm late for. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm glad you had an opportunity to get answers to your pending agenda items. So like I said, I just have a couple, so we'll just go through those now. So this actually is a good segue into, I had a meeting with GSA a couple days ago, and they were talking about the Biden-Harris plastic fact sheet. And just want to give you a heads up that the federal government is looking for ways to do away with plastics. So we know that it starts with the manufacturers, so just note that I'll be working on a team to come up with recommendations for that. And it will be a phased approach with ultimately this be in full-fledged action. I think it's 2035, but there could be a possibility where this could affect vending machines. So that's why I'm bringing this up. I don't have any other information than this. We just had an initial meeting, so just want to bring you abreast of that. Wanted to let you know that the program monitor position that Karen Whittington held, it should be posted today. Wanted to let you know that the monthly program monitor facility evaluations began this month. So I'm bringing this up because this is key for supporting your 6-month evaluation. So now everything is documented. Next thing is, I just wanted to talk about effective October. Just wanted to reiterate that I will be going out with the monitors to your sites so I can see things for myself. And then, do you have any questions or comments about any of those items? I wanted to then turn it over to business services so they can talk about the financial report.
I have a question, Ms. Von Roche, about the plastic. Are you talking about just plastic bags? Or are you talking about plastic containers? What type of plastic are you referring to?
All plastic. It could be bottles, it could be bags, it could be the stuff that goes over a sandwich. So this is a big thing. So yeah, it's gonna have repercussions on Randolph Shepherd.
It definitely will. How will they seal sandwiches? How will you put things in vending machine if it drops down? Bottles a lot of time break.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It could be an impact on vending machines. So we don't know any of this stuff yet, but I just wanted to, bring you real-time news.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Cindy. I'm just gonna give you your reporting funds. And we're gonna start with the assigned and unassigned vending through September 19th. $1,603,865.32. Total levy collected from this set aside is the $196,947.93. Assigned and unassigned payments through September, I have is $1,424,679.90. Local year-to-date expenditures, paid against the PPO is $322,522.25. Year-to-date expenditures paid against the set-aside funds is $144,314. I will send you this email when I get upstairs to my computer that you would all have it. A copy.
Thank you.
Everyone on this call, you have any questions, you can send me an email and CC my supervisor.
I would like to have a copy of that.
I just said I was
I,
upstairs.
Mm.
I Ms. Bolden, I'll send it to you.
I have a comment on
we-
the finance.
go ahead.
I mean, we may have copies of, we may get copies of that, but that should be a breakdown on what it was spent on. You can't give a report
I
and
couldn't
say,
hear.
hey, we spent $100 and some thousand
Right.
on, expenditures and don't show for it. Everybody knows
Right.
that. So
Right.
we need a breakdown. Don't just keep throwing out those numbers and not saying what
Right.
you're spending this money on and where this money came from.
Right, exactly. That's why I wanted a copy so I could study it because I can't hear very well. I couldn't hear you very well. And I wondered if you had given us the expenditures, how much you paid out for the equipment, how much you paid out, whatever. That's where we need to know that. I'll agree with LaShawn Adams, 100%.
That was part of my comment, but the other part of the comment was when we're talking about vending commission, I'm gonna circle back around. We're talking about vending commission. This body needs to sit down with the vendors because it's time for us to renew some of the numbers that we had. Now, it's my understanding that, that can be extended or not, but I think this committee would like to sit down with those folks and figure out the best possible percentage for everybody in the program.
And our contracts, vending contracts, are about to be renewed now. Is that right, Ms. Mitchell? The vending company contracts, are they up to be renewed?
Is everything cut off?
Either something.
No.
December. It will be done in December. Somebody else asked about that. This December. And I'll get with you, I'll send you something.
I like to say that, we've been asking for these financial reports and the breakdowns. We've always been promised to receive them, and I'm not talking about Ms. Mitchell, but we've never received anything related to the financial reports. And we hear about what comes in, but we don't never know what's spent. And I've been asking for a slush machine, but I've been told that there's no money in the budget for it. But I hear that there's $190-something in that we've paid
And levy.
And levy, and basically I can't get a machine, and I don't know why when we've taken in or we've paid so much money. But I appreciate Ms. Mitchell that you're going to send us a copy. Thank you very much.
I also think this is Jose. I also think that certain things like equipment, flush machines, and those type of things should be bought up with the monitors so they can handle that individually and on a case-by-case basis.
Not sure what you mean by that statement. Could you please explain?
Yeah, if there's equipment or whatever that's needed in a location, that is the monitor's responsibility along with the vendor to actually try to discuss the feasibility of getting that equipment and how it's going to fit in that particular location. So I think that's a very an itemized thing that the monitors can handle with the vendor.
Okay, so I would like to throw this element into what you were saying is that I know all the vendors are aware that we have to abide by contracting regulations from DC government of where we can purchase our equipment from. So just keep that in mind when you are requesting maybe the purchase of equipment. So, yeah, we hear what you're saying.
Well, Delani, I would like to ask, when will you be finishing my snack bar up? Because it's been a while now, and you know, people are coming back to work, as I understand, at my building. So, I mean, I would like for it to get done as soon as I can, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Ms. Bowler, yes, we're working on it. As Ms. Von Wilson stated, we have new policies and new procedures that put in effect to where it's a little bit more red tape, but we're working on it. The same way I told you about the signs and having the signs done. All of those were just some budget issues that, you know, we kind of overcame, and we're working on those now.
Well, I hope no one takes this time, that they don't take this one when I get it in, when you get it in. Because as I understand, that mine disappeared to go somewhere. But, you know, I just would like it, because as I understand, it's like 3,000 people coming back, and they're bringing them back like 2,000 at a time, or 500 at a time, which they have brought back some.
Yeah, I spoke with Mr. Davis, not too long ago, just, informing him about the signs and everything being done. So he let me know that there was some people coming back into the building. So I am aware, and like I said, I am working to get the equipment sooner than later.
Okay, I got one comment. This is Hazel. I sent you guys an email this morning. I hope that you got it, outlining some things in terms of Columbia Plaza and Foggy Bottom and Main State. So, Jelani, I'll probably get with you in terms of the content of that email, and we can discuss it. And the other thing is, Jelani, you left my my reports there, my performance reports, and I wanted to have some comments with you. So I'll talk to you when you get to state, okay?
I've been trying to do the inspection report while you were there, but every time I come, you're gone or something like this. So I got a lot of reports and stuff to complete by the end of the month, so I've been on the time schedule.
Okay, I'd like to sign them in your presence and we have a discussion if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Operations, Cindy and I have to leave. We have another meeting to attend, but we will send those expenditures out to you via email.
Okay, so, thank you all for attending. I'm gonna ask the question again. It seems like, you guys were real quick to get on, this, Zoom call. So would this be the best way to have these meetings going forward?
Well, I missed the day, reason why I was late, because I didn't even realize it was one today, and it's my fault. So we had said in person.
Yeah, but regardless of, you know, the reason why you guys were late or not attending or whatever, the question still stands. Would this be the best method to have these meetings going forward?
Oh,
Yes.
I think it is. I think it's the best method, and I apologize for being late. I've got medical stuff and a bunch of other stuff going on. But yeah, I think it works for us, but I'm not really good with Zoom, so I just prefer just the call-in thing. That's just my preference.
Yeah,
doesn't matter with me.
yeah, we can't,
Either way.
yeah, it'll have to be this way. We can't do call-ins. So the next meeting will
I
be,
can't,
Well, Ms. Vaughn,
I can't do calling if I'm at work. I mean, I can't do Zoom if I'm at work.
the Zoom
You know, we
option
can't have
does
some,
have the call-in method for you. So when you do it with Zoom, you have the link to join on your computer, and it also has a telephone number to join, which it looks like most of you all joined via phone today. So if you stick with Zoom, you can do on the computer or on your cell phone.
I
okay,
can't do
but
either one.
if
I don't
I'm
know
at
about no
work,
Zoom.
guys, I'm in DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency. I can only have landline.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know nothing about Zoom, so I wouldn't be able to get on Zoom.
It's
I
just,
need to learn
Well,
that.
you're on Zoom right now on your cell phone. The number that you call just ties
I'm
you
on
into
my
the Zoom meeting.
mainline phone. I'm on my mainline phone.
Well, the
She's
main
actually
line,
connected to my phone. She's actually
Yeah.
connected to my phone.
Oh, that's right. I'm attached to your phone.
She's connected to my phone.
But I always call in on the on mainline phone when I'm not connected.
So are you saying we cannot call in on landline? That's what I need to
you can
understand.
call in
Yeah,
on a
right.
landline. There's a telephone number for you to call, and it allows you to access the Zoom meeting. Right now, you're on a phone, whether it's a landline or a cell phone. You're on the phone, and you're connected to the
Okay.
Zoom meeting.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great.
Okay.
That's great.
All right, well, thank you all and have a wonderful day.
Miss Van Roach, I have a question.
Marie, can you bring up the accessibility, please?
No, I was wondering, when will we have our meeting that we're supposed to have?
Is this meeting in regards to the policies?
No, the meeting about what we was on last Friday before last hearing.
Maybe we need to talk offline because there's a couple of meetings that are going on and I'm not sure which one you're referencing.
Okay, the one that when we was on the administrative hearing. And
Right, that, again, that's the same meeting. I reached out to Terry Smith because he is a subject matter expert in Randolph-Shepherd and about the policies, the regulations, and everything, you know, in the kitchen sink, if you will. So I am trying to get with him to see when he can come in and basically go over all of our policies to say, hey, this looks good, doesn't look good. What are the recommendations for changes?
I will talk with you about this a little later because it wasn't about Terry Smith. It wasn't about Terry Smith or coming in. It was about meeting with the BVC and the Promotion and Transfer Committee and trying to solve the issue that's been going on. That's what the judge ordered. So maybe, you know, we could get together, I'll talk with you later. That's what it was about.
Yeah, but
Let me interject something. Ms. Bolton's on a timeline with her
The 16th, we have to meet again on the 16th.
She has to meet within a certain timeline. If not, then she's going to move to the next step.
right, I understand what you're saying. What I'm trying to say is that to address this from one perspective, and that is to have Terry Smith assist us with all of this. But I'm happy to discuss this with you later.
Okay, well, discuss it with the BVC and the Promotion and Transfer Committee. That's where it's supposed to be for all of us.
Right,
Not just with me.
right. Terry Smith, that was the intention to have and the Promotion and Transfer Policy Committee all attend this meeting. So everybody that has a stake in this will hear the same message at the same time.
Right, that's good. That is just fine as long as we stick to the subject that we're supposed to be discussing. The SLA and the BVC and Promotion and Transfer. There was that one discussion they're supposed to discuss, right?
I think it's just that.
Mr. Smith knows all the rules, of course.
Yes.
If he's there, we will only stick to the discussion that we're supposed to stick to or talk about. One discussion.
Ms. Sharon,
yes, I sent you an email.
Marie?
Yes.
I'm confused, Ms. Von Roach, because I'm not really sure what Terry Smith has to do with any kind of administrative hearings that we're going forward with. He's not part of the BVC. He's not part of the SLA, and he's just a paid consultant. We've already had a training class with him some time ago with Mr. Evans and Mr. Reese brought him in for us to read the rules and the regulations. As a matter of fact, we've used his rules and regulations in terms of the administrative reviews that were filed. So I'm kind of confused about what his part is in terms of the administrative review process.
Well, I'm just gonna restate what I said before, in consultation with other members in the SLA. It was recommended that Terry Smith be the conduit to address these outstanding issues. And because he has the subject knowledge expertise, he would be the best person to guide us in resolving the outstanding issues.
Okay, Ms. Shine, yes, I've sent you an email saying that, since we're gonna have Terry Smith come in, I think we should also have Mr. Mazza, who wrote the policies for Randolph, Shepherd, and DC, to join us as well.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you for that.
I like to make one short statement before we go.
Thank you.
Mr. Terry Smith basically came and spoke to us before, and he said that we're supposed to have ruminative income, meaning that we're not supposed to sit home and collect a check, that we're supposed to go into our locations and work them or manage them. And when he said that, it seems to have been ignored, because there are people that don't go into their locations and they sit home and collect checks, pay no for no inventory, pay no taxes, and pay for no employees. And he said that's not what this program was designed to do. So what Mr. Smith said, you guys seem to have ignored. So if you're not going to pay attention to Mr. Smith, then why is he coming? Is he coming to teach us or to teach you guys?
Well, again, and I really do have to go because I have a 12:30 meeting. I was not here before. I don't know what was said. And I just think it's okay to have this, and I'm gonna keep using the same words over and over again, but this subject matter expert come in and weigh in on what's going on with the DC Randolph Shepherd program. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.